Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Friday, the 19th of February, comes to you from London. And we see quite a mixed screen this morning. We're seeing US futures up, Europe up, but we saw some quite heavy falls in Asia, so we'll investigate that as we go through the charts. Remembering this is my long-term, my medium-term, and my short-term view of the market, weekly, daily, and 60-minute charts. If we're above the cloud, we're bullish. If we're below the cloud, we're bearish. And here are the point and figure targets to match. So we see the dollar has fallen back into negative territory, the bigger trends dominating. So we're back to a bearish dollar, which means that the euro is now looking stronger against the dollar, sitting at 121.30 this morning, breaking back above the cloud, bullish on all three time frames. Taking a look at sterling, we're nudging that 140 level. We really are just almost through, and that takes us to a 3-year high for sterling against the dollar, back to sort of Brexit time. So the vote for Brexit. So we are seeing sterling looking stronger. We've just had an upside target to 146.75, 150 is the longer term target. So we are just seeing really clear evidence that the dollar is going, sterling is going to those levels against the dollar. Against the euro, we're seeing sterling looking strong here as well, 115.38. We've had this target 116.86 in play for some time. Taking a look at Bitcoin, we're at $52,700. Just ticking up as we speak, breaking out of this mini consolidation range the last couple of days. They're looking strong there. The S&P 500 index was down slightly last night, down 0.4%. No big change there. We're seeing the futures up very slightly this morning, the S&P and the Nasdaq E-mini up 0.1%. We are bearish on that short-term chart on the Nasdaq, so it is interesting that we are just seeing the markets really just running out of steam at the moment. The VIX volatility sitting steady in the low 20s, has been now for a good couple of weeks. The FTSE future is flat, little changed, and the DAX, the cash market in Germany, is up 0.35%. And the CAC 40, similarly up 1/3%, still has work to do to break to new highs, but we have got good upside targets here, bullish on all three time frames. That long-term chart, we're just seeing that wandering out there, but of course the DAX is the dominant factor there as well. We're seeing Japan was lower. We were down 0.7% there, but it's had a very good run, so no real changes. We're still bullish on all three time frames. The Hang Seng was up slightly, and China was up 0.5%, but we saw some big falls in the rest of Asia. So we saw the Sensex down 1%, not enough to really change the fact that we had a very good run and still bullish on all three time frames. The Aussie market was down 1.3% as well, so just wandering out of the clouds, similar to the CAC 40, strangely. So we're seeing that looking better, and we are just holding the bullish trend there. Gold is really testing levels at the moment. We're at 1774. This 1764 level is pretty important. We're just holding on to that support level, but for the moment we have got gold just falling back. No really big downside targets on the short-term chart. We do have potential for 5% lower and even bigger targets down to the downside. But for the moment, we are still long-term bullish, but medium and short-term bearish. And that's a different picture than the one we see with silver. Silver actually looking bullish on the medium-term chart, but short-term we have come back as well. We've got downside targets and a little mini upside target. The weaker dollar might well help things there. US 10-year yields back to 1.3%. Price is now clearly through the cloud on the weekly. The lagging line still has work to do, of course, but we've got these big upside targets. So bond yields look like a one-way bet at the moment. And if we're looking at US 30-year bonds, they broke 2% earlier in the last week, and we are now close to wandering out on the cloud there as well. And we've got upside targets, some 18% higher on the 0.5% chart, so quite significant there. Just looking at the energy mix, we've got Brent Crude just starting to come back into below the cloud on the 60-minute, looking a little bit exhausted here on the daily chart, and this downside target nearly met, So we just need to keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on your 1 minute charts if you're trading Brent. Taking a look at coal, we're up 0.4% this morning, but still very much in a bear trend on the short term and breaking down on that daily chart. We've got some quite big downside targets. Keep an eye on your OTC pricing there. Emissions looking a little bit weaker. We're just wandering down through that cloud, and that's just giving us some downside potential there. We did do a post on LinkedIn yesterday on emissions recording, so you can actually watch that. Gas prices this morning, little changed. NBP up 0.2%, TTF down 0.4%. We are just seeing TTF looking that little bit weaker, and the 17 euro mark's pretty important. We are above that, and we do have quite a lot of upside targets on the 1 minute chart, so we might start next week better on emissions. On TTF, but it is still in short-term bearish mode, and prices are wandering through the cloud as well. German power is up 0.3%, so that's just starting to look like a little bit of recovery. We were neutral on power prices this week. We really are in a range, making it very hard to call which way we would go. But it is looking a little bit better as we end the week, coming back above the cloud. The one power market we were bullish on was Nordic Power. That's held up above the cloud. We've got targets in both directions, but for the moment, this chart is still in bull mode. That's it for today. Until Monday, have a great weekend. Happy charting. See you then.